Good morning, YouTubers. I've been thinking about Lord Lucan recently. So I'm into looking at cold cases and trying to figure things out. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Lord Lucan case, but for those of you who are not, there's wiki pages about it. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet. But he was this lord who was going through a messy divorce with his wife. He lived in a big fancy house in London, and one day his wife came out of the house dripping in blood, ran down the street to the local pub and burst in saying, help me, my husband's trying to kill me." And the police came round to the house with their size 12 boots, and there's a body in the basement of the maid, and they trampled all over the house, contaminating the crime scene with their size 12s and trampling blood all over the house. And she said that her husband, Lord Lucan, had murdered the maid and attacked her as well. And so they launched a manhunt for Lord Lucan, and that was that. They never found Lord Lucan. Now, I'm sorry, but I don't buy that story at all. I think, and this is pure speculation on my behalf, okay, I think, looking at the evidence, that Lord Lucan had been murdered. Lady Lucan clearly had an accomplice who was in on it with her, and they had plotted up to kill Lucan. Now, the problem with killing someone and disposing of the body and getting away with it is that there's a missing person for sure. He's quite a high-profile sort of guy, you know. He's a lord, and people just go missing in a divorce case, you know. Doesn't look good, does it? The finger of suspicion may fall somewhere. So I think what happened is he was murdered and he was disposed of, and at the same time that he was murdered, his wife, Lady Lucan, murdered the maid, because she was the only one at the crime scene who was proven to be at the crime scene and dripping with blood from the crime scene. Don't forget, they didn't have DNA in those days. They had the blood group A and B and things like that. So, and that was it. The police just left it at that. They thought, okay. So instead of looking for someone who's been murdered, a missing person, they're now looking for someone in relation to a murder that's been committed, wanted for questioning, and they never found him. He never showed up all these years later. This was the early 70s this happened. So it becomes clear to me and obvious that he was murdered at the time, and they clearly got away with it, didn't they?